Hi everyone, it's Andy from Hobby Headquarters. Well, we have another white box kit, and if you guys have watched the channel more than once, you know what a white box kit. This is going to be a brand new pre-production model of a new Tamiya kit. And Tamiya was kind enough to write all of the pertinent information on top of the box here, because I know I get a lot of questions about, what the price is going to be, when it's available, and sometimes they tell me, sometimes they don't. This time they actually did. So this one is due out in worldwide release in late June, which means we'll probably get it here in the United States sometime in July. And it has a retail price in the United States of $42. So it means you'll find it easily in the $30 range. It is a completely 100% brand new kit from the ground up. It's nothing to do with their old kit. Now, as with all the pre-production kits, they come with just photocopied instructions. And the plastic is in a gray color rather than the real color that it'll come dyed. When we get it, it'll be in an olive drab. So what we'll do now is we'll tear apart the sprues in here, show you guys what it's going to look like when it comes out, and we'll start building it up. So let's get started on it. Since this is a brand new Tamiya kit, we're going to take a look at all of the stuff that comes inside. First of all, these are just photocopies of the pieces that will come, and you can see there'll be a complete little history of the vehicle, front and back, talking a little about in multiple languages, and then we have the regular instructions, and it's a very, very low part count kit, so you'll be able to really knock these together pretty quickly. Plus you have multiple, you can do Russian or American World War II. Now let's take a look at the sprues. First we have two of this particular sprue right here, and this is your suspension arms, road wheels, drive sprocket, and a few others like the light guards, things like that. You get two of those. And then this little sprue right here is your 30 caliber machine gun, and you have the actual ammunition. Part of the belt is right there. Ammo boxes, pieces like that. Then here is your main hull, and you can see it's multiple parts, but because they've done it that way, you get some really good detail on the outer edge here, as well as some really good detail on the lower part of the hull and all the other little pieces, more suspension area, tools, and finally we have the turret and the upper part of the hull. And this is a late production vehicle that they're modeling here, and plus they give you two different helmets that you can put on, either the American helmet or the Russian tanker helmet. And the final thing we're going to take a look at now is the tracks. And they are rubber band tracks, but they use regular modeling glue on this. But I have to say they are very, very nice. I'm going to try to get in as close as possible. You can see even like the little indentation on the sides here. Very nicely done. And they went away from the holes, so now it's just like an indent that line right up in there. Put a little glue on it and you'll have your whole tracks together. So you can see, oh, there's one other sprue that we need to open up and show you. Usually leave these in the bag so they don't get scratched, but we have some clear parts. So you have your headlight lenses, and then not quite sure how those go. I don't know a heck of a lot about the Stuart yet, but we'll look into that. But those are your clear parts that go on it. So as you can see, the entire kit is made up of like 5 sprues, so it's going to be a very quick and easy build. And the only other thing in the box is a couple of things of the tow cables. Actually, one big long piece of tow cable, which, I don't know, in 35th scale, this looks like this is probably about 200 feet of tow cable. So now that you've seen inside that, and I'll take pictures of all the sprues and show you them right after this, and then we'll start the build. Okay, we're going to start off building the lower hull on this, and just talk about for a few seconds here. As you can see, it's made up of individual pieces for the sides, and with that they can get some extreme detail, all the extra rivets and things like that on there. And it's very easy and straightforward. What we'll do now is we'll just spend a few seconds watching the old-fashioned way we used to do some of the videos here, just some high-speed film, and you can watch how it goes together, and then we'll move on to the next part. Now we're going to build up the idler wheel as well as the bogie wheels and all the suspension parts. Now I have, obviously you can see, built up a few of them already. Now there is obviously a left and right idler arm, and then there is a and B type of bogie wheel. And the main difference on those will be the way the upper spring points. So you want to keep those organized. And I'll just kind of quickly just show you how easily this entire thing goes together. So we're going to build the other idler arm to start off with, and it's made up of 4 simple little parts. Don't want to glue any of this yet in this area because you want this to be able to continue to spin. So all the glue that we'll put on will be on this side of the piece. Put a little bit on that, and then a little bit on this cover. And if I can get the cover to go right, yeah, the cover will just snap right into here. And we'll obviously put a little bit more glue on it here and finish sanding it so we get a nice smooth surface. But then when you're done, you get a idler arm and wheel that works really well. And just quickly, we'll just show you how the suspension goes together. I still have to do a little bit more sanding on this last one, but we'll just show you quickly it goes together. So it's just a matter of getting the wheels put into place here, and then we can drop the other side on like this. Oops, and get the other piece. There we go. So you've got those 4 pieces. This piece right here is the outer frame. That is going to glue right into place here, and then you glue the top little spring on. All these wheels will still work, and you've got it basically ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand all this one up right now, get it ready, and we'll come back and we'll show you attaching them. Okay, we've got the bogies all built up, and just quickly we are going to glue together the drive sprocket. There is a little poly cap inside there, and that is going to make it much easier when we go to attach the track. So first of all, I love the fact that Tamiya has put this extension coming out of the side of the hull. This is what is going to be the main thing that carries the weight of this bogie. And the reason that I love that so much is that when you put that on right there, you don't have to worry about later your suspension cracking off because there's not enough meat for the 2 pieces to glue together. So we can glue those on just like that. There is some definite pins on the side here, definite shape pins I should say, that match, and so you can only put it on the right way, which actually we'll go ahead and glue this one on right now. And you can see that just literally snaps almost right into place. Let that glue set up. We have this portion which will be pushed on with the poly cap, and we'll glue those on as well. Now I've gone ahead and glued the tracks together as well, and the tracks use regular Tamiya cement to glue together. My recommendation is to glue them together like you're supposed to, and then clamp them for a little while like on the seam like this, and then finally let them set up like in this position with the seam in the middle there, and that way you won't get a bulge where the track wants to come apart. In fact, it's really hard to even find out where the seam is right now. And then all you'll have to do is you'll take this drive sprocket, layer it on the track like that. You'll push that into place, and then you'll be able to just snap the tracks right in after we glue those on. So we're going to go ahead and assemble the other side of the track, glue these on, and we will start on the upper part of the hull. I've spent the last 30-40 minutes now going over, cutting off, and sanding all the little parts that are going to go on the upper hull. To start off with, we have these little panels right here that go on the side of the sponson, and we've also installed the little plugs on them here. And we're doing the American version. If we were doing the Russian version, we would leave those plugs out, and they have a couple of 30 cal machine gun barrels that'll fit through. So with this in mind, that'll be the first thing we want to attach. Is we're going to go down the line and just start attaching all these little side pieces on, and the fit is real tight and easy on these. Almost snap together, we'll call it. And they're designed that they fit only a certain way, so you won't be messing that up. And then when we get to the back here, you can see there's all these little pieces that stick out that will only make it so you can only put the piece on the correct way. And there's the little groove to this little bump right here, so that'll fit right into position there. And then we can go ahead and start attaching all of these other little pieces. And you can see these pieces, we'll glue this one on in a second, but yeah, just like this. And this gives us all our rivet detail for the sides, and there are all these little pins and slots that everything just lines up in to put it on. So what I'll do is we will take a few minutes and start gluing all those things on, and you can watch me do it while you listen to a little classical music. Okay, we flashed a little bit ahead here, but the reason I wanted to show you the high-speed film there of assembly is just to show you how easy this kit actually does go together. The grand total of this portion of the build, including the lower hull, we probably have a grand total of about 4 hours into the build. And I want to show you a couple of other exciting things that I really appreciate in the kit. First of all, we have these sponson covers down here that will not allow any, so when you actually put the tracks on and you look up inside there, the entire thing is all sealed up. You won't have any light bleed through or anything like that, so we can go ahead and put those on. I know those are a big thing for armor modelers, to have the sponsons sealed up like that. And then I'll show you a few other just quick things. We're going to first go ahead and put these mufflers on it here. And the way Tamiya has designed this is, I've only built one of them up here, but the very top of the canister, or excuse me, the bottom of the canister is one piece, and you're only filling in this one other little piece, and then what goes on top of that is the other portion of the actual pipe in the canister, so there's no seam we have to worry about doing. The only seam that you have once you glue it onto the little frame piece is all hidden away inside. So there's a couple little clips down here that once you pop those in, it'll slide in. You won't have any external seam on the outside, and then we can fill in the rest of this here with the stowage bin, which, like I said, we'll glue all this together, but I just thought for right now, I was just kind of dry fitting some of the parts. And that easy, you have all assembled. So virtually that is the entire upper part of the hull that we need to build. Obviously, we're going to build the other side and glue all this down, but there's just some other minor little accessories that we're going to go ahead and glue on, some latches and some light guards, things like that. Also should point out too that the lights do have clear pieces of plastic. We are waiting to put those in right now. We don't want to put those in until we've done all the painting. That way we can put them in and we don't have to worry about masking later on that. So a very, very easy, good fit kit so far. So we'll go ahead and finish up the rest of that part, and then we'll show you how we attach it to the lower part of the hull and then start working on the turret. So we have the upper part of the hull, I'd say about 99% complete. We do have to do just a little touch-up sanding here and there, as well as apply the tools, but it is pretty much ready to drop right into place here. There's the click, and so pretty much the lower hull is all ready to start painting. And just very, very quickly, we'll just show you how the basics of the upper, or excuse me, the turret goes together. So we have polycaps inside here, and that is going to allow the gun to go up and down. So it's just a matter of getting those pieces all lined up. And I'll actually glue them all together since we've got them working on it here. And then the turret, you have your turret ring. And the pieces are designed to fit in just so. Oh, I guess we got to go to the right side too. Yeah, you can see when they put them on the right side, they fit perfectly. We'll run a little bead of glue down in there. And then we can also attach the other side as well. And we've got a little bit of seam filling maybe to do in the back there, although maybe not too much. Once we get that on there, we'll do a little sanding. Then it's just a matter of gluing the top on of the turret and applying the barrel and the mantlet, things like that. And also the actual main gun of this vehicle, which is on one of the sprues here. Oh, here it is slide molded, so we do have a hollow barrel inside of there. So as you can see, it goes together pretty quickly and easily. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of this this turret together, get it all assembled, get it finished sanded, and then we'll come back, pop that into place, and probably talk about the kit a little bit, and then get on to painting. Well, here we are. Here is our completed model. And as you would expect with any type of Tamiya kit, especially a brand new one, it went together absolutely wonderfully. The total build time I have in on this is probably about 7 hours worth of build time, and that includes cutting everything off, sanding it, getting it ready. Now obviously we have to paint it, and so we've left off all of the tools, any of the accessories that you can see piled up right there in the front. Now for this video we are going to do a paint job on it, of course, but we are not going to weather it very much, and that is because if you've watched recently, we've done some videos on weathering and chipping different types of armor, and this is going to be our test bed for chipping and weathering American armor. So we're going to put kind of a factory fresh paint job on this, starting off by doing a NATO black followed over the entire vehicle, and then followed up by white highlights. that we have our black and white coat on there, I've mixed up a lightened olive drab, and we've done that by mixing 2 parts olive drab XF62 with 1 part of XF60 Tamiya's dark yellow, and mixed them together to get this kind of a faded olive drab, remembering that olive drab is not a green color, it's actually a mixture of yellow and black. So to lighten it, you don't want to use white as much, because white will kind of turn it kind of like a pea soup color. You add a little bit of the dark yellow to it and it'll lighten it right down. So I'm going to go ahead and spray the rest of the vehicle, minus the tracks and this machine gun I'm taking off right here, with this. And we want to go with a real light coat because we don't want to cover up too much of the black and white coat that we put on underneath. Now we're going to spray our tracks, and we've sprayed the track overall with XF69 NATO black, and now we're going to spray just the end connectors to kind of give them a tarnished look and differentiate between that and the rubber that's made up of the pad. And we're going to use our regular track toning color. Well, here we are. Here is our paint job all dried now, and as you can see the tonal variations by using the faded olive drab over the black and white technique. Also, hopefully you can see it looks pretty good in person, the brownish color that we did for the tracks, but just on the outer edges of them. We left the pad still a black color, and it makes a nice contrast between the two of them. Now that we have the entire vehicle painted, we've gone ahead and taken it outside and we've sprayed it with Tamiya's TS80, they're flat, and sealed in our entire paint job. So now we're going to go ahead and start putting the decals on, and we're going to be using all the yellow stuff to make it the American one. Now with the decals on this, there is quite a bit of raised surfaces that we're going to be using. So we're going to be using our Mark Fit Strong, and quite a few coats probably on this to get them to conform to all like the little hatches, pieces like that on it. So we're all ready to do that because the paint job is sealed in with the TS80. So now we can go ahead and do that and start getting some water and start putting the decals on. Let's work on some decals now. We're going to first lay down a fairly liberal coat of Mark Fit Strong because we want this decal to start to be softened from both sides. And see if I can get my hand out of the way so you guys can see. We're going to slide our decal on. These decals appear to be fairly thin too, so I think they'll be a little bit easier to work with rather than some of the thicker ones. And we're going to put a nice heavy coat on top of that as well, making sure it's as level as possible before that stuff goes to work. And now what we're going to do is we play the waiting game. And what I mean by that is we're going to let this set up for about 4 or 5 minutes, start hitting it with a cotton swab to start to get any of the air bubbles out, and then we're going to hit it with a couple more coats, and we're going to keep repeating that and repeating it and repeating it until we get that yellow part of the star to conform completely over the big bulges that are sitting out on there. So it's going to take a little bit of time, and while that's going to dry, I'm going to start putting some of the other decals on it. So I'm going to go ahead and start finishing those up, and we'll come back and show you what they look like once we get all the decals on. And here we are. Here is our completed model. Now we have put all of the decals into place, put on multiple coats of the Mark Fit Strong. As you can see, we also put the tools into place, got those attached. And as we do a little 360 around the whole vehicle. The only decal that was a little bit difficult was the one that goes all the way around the back of the turret, and getting it to go around the machine gun little holder was a little tough. We also put on the lenses on the headlights, got those into place. And the biggest thing you're probably noticing, of course, that we talked about earlier, there is no weathering on this vehicle. And that is mainly because we are going to do that special edition weathering, chipping, and streaking American armor. And this is going to be a perfect test bed for it. So we will chip up the yellow, we will chip up everything on it and make the vehicle look like it's been through its paces a little bit. But as for the kit, the Tamiya kit is just what you would expect from a Tamiya kit. This is actually a grand total of about 8-9 hours total for everything to build this kit, and it just looks absolutely great right out of the box. And once we weather it with the tracks and all that, it's going to look even better. So this kit is due out in July. I would highly, highly recommend that if you're looking for a light American tank, this is the one for you. So I want to thank you guys for watching as always, and please stay tuned because we have many more videos coming.